Hello and welcome back to Stop and Go F1, or should I say, Stop and Go F3. Now, I know I said in my preview video for this weekend that I wasn't going to do the instant reactions to F2 and F3, but it turns out I'm a liar, because here I am. The times of these sessions weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be, so here we are discussing all things F3, starting with the sprint race. Before we get into that, like and subscribe. That's the rules, of course. But let's talk about it, because interestingly, you've got 17 drivers on the grid here who have never driven this track before, which is very impressive how well they did, especially in the sprint race. Because when you compare the F3 sprint race and the F2 sprint race, if you were to say which of these groups of drivers are more experienced, you should say it's the F3, because they handled themselves a hell of a lot better than the F2 guys did. Let's get into it. Van Hoopen's on pole position with Stenshorne alongside. I'm pronouncing that name wrong, because despite this being the second F3 race, I don't remember him really being mentioned much in the first race of the year. Very aggressive grid position from him, though, facing right towards Van Hoopen at the start of the race. Van Hoopen is able to get away quite well, but Stenshone's all over the back of him immediately for P1. Mansell joins this battle as well, a three-way battle for the lead. On lap 3, Stenshorne is able to take the lead. On lap 3, Van Hoopen is able to take the lead. On lap 3, Mansell also gives Stenshorne a little bit of a tap, but don't worry, because on lap 4, Stenshorne takes the lead. Then on lap 4, Van Hoopen takes the lead. Then on lap 5, Stenshorne takes the lead. Luke Browning's out, but don't worry, further up the grid, Lindblad makes a big move on, I was going to say Nigel Mansell then, it's not Nigel Mansell, it's Christian Mansell for P3. Mary Boyer pushes Bedrin off the track. Bedrin had a bad weekend this weekend. We'll get into that more as we carry on. Further down the grid, Beganocih has a fantastic move on Fornaroli for P8. Christian Mansell has a lot of damage here and is just losing position after position, falling all the way down the grid. Lindblad passes Van Hoopen for P2, that's on lap 9. But this battle at the front of the grid, absolutely fantastic stuff. Really mature racing from Lindblad, Van Hoopen and Stenshorne as well, giving each other just the right amount of space to make those moves happen. Really good stuff. Charlie Wirtz, who had a fantastic weekend, he passes Beganocih for P9. Then, here we go, the name I've been wanting to say since I first saw it, and I get to say it for the first time. Infrapruzazak. Fantastic. Anyway, he's in a gravel trap, and this brings out our first safety car of the weekend. The safety car does end though on lap 17. Stenshorne, who was in the lead, gets a very good getaway very early, but managed it really well. Further back down, Beganocih passes Charlie Wirtz for P8, and then Bedrin passes Wirtz for P9. We have a great little battle at the end between Van Hoopen and Mary Boyer for P3, but as we cross the line, it is Stenshorne, I'm not entirely sure, but he wins. So congratulations there. Lindblad, another fantastic race for him in P2. Van Hoopen P3. Across to the feature race, though, we've got Fornaroli on pole. Gabriele Mini alongside him. Fornaroli makes a very good start, and then it all goes to hell. So, Infrapruzazak is in the wall, manages to carry on going. Tramnitz has got a puncture, but managed to keep on going. Smith and Loke, though, do not keep on going. Contact between those two, both in the gravel. This brings out the safety car. Sophia Flörsch pulls over on the side of the track and is out of the race. But then, all of a sudden, she's back in the race, and then she goes around and then goes to the pits and is out of the race. Safety car comes in on lap 6. Luke Browning passes Bedrin for P4 on lap 6. Lindblad is able to follow him through as well. Great move for him. Charlie Wirtz, though, round the outside of Van Hoopen for P10. Fantastic move for him on lap 7. Contact between Stenshorne and Noel Leon. This brings, I think it gives a puncture to Stenshorne at that point. Bedrin pushes Gunther off the track. Ramos has a puncture further down. We have a fantastic three-way battle for P9 between Charlie Wirtz, Christian Mansell, and Mari Boyer. That's on lap 12. Montoya is able to get up into P9 through that battle. Beganocih passes Mini for P2 on lap 12, and Dufek is off. Is that his name? Dufek? I'm sure his name is Dufek. Browning passes Gary O'Malley for P3 on lap 13. And then Beganocih is now right all over the back of Fornaroli in P1. Really managing the race quite well was Beganocih there at this point on lap 14. And is able to take the lead pretty convincingly there. Not much of a fight put up by Fornaroli for the lead. Christian Mansell passes Van Hoopen for P11, and then Montoya finds himself in another freeway battle. This time it's Bedrin versus Boyer versus Montoya for P5, and Bedrin just goes backwards. I think his tyres had really fallen off at this point. He went from P5 to P8 in about half a lap. Montoya passes Boyer for P5 on lap 16, and then Gurfa passes Bedrin. Bedrin now down to P9. Now a wonderful little moment in this race happens where Fornaroli is all over the back of Beganocih for P1, and just behind them we have Mini all over the back of Browning for P3. Mini is able to get up past of Luke Browning for P3. That's on lap 22, and within about 3 laps he's able to get a second gap between him and Luke Browning. It looks like maybe he might have been able to go and put his head down and go towards Fornaroli, maybe get that P2 spot, but he just runs out of time in the end. Beganocih finishes the race in first place, winning the feature race for him. I think this was his first ever F3 win, so congratulations to him. Fornaroli in P2 with Gabriele Mini in P3. I believe that's his first podium of the year, so well done to him. As for F3 Hero of the weekend, now, if you've seen this before, it's not necessarily who did the best, but who I thought was the most entertaining. I'm giving it to Charlie Wirtz. One of them. You know who I'm talking about. I think he was the only rookie in the top 10 on the feature race. Went from 14th to 5th place. Fantastic drive from him. Really mature racing. Some great overtakes from him as well. Very impressive. So Charlie Wirtz. Yes. He is the hero of F3 this weekend. So some good F3 there. I'll be back very shortly for all things F2. And then I'll go to bed for a couple hours. Then I'll wake up and we'll be ready for all things F1 later on today. So make sure you're subscribed for all of that to come here on Stop and Go F1. Until next time though, have a good one. I'll see you then. Goodbye.